The first movie that I saw that made an impression on me was Pretty Woman. So I probably know most of Julia's lines in that movie. I probably saw it when I was 7, which is really inappropriate. I had played a swallow in The Prince and the Swallow. I played an angry cook in Alice in Wonderland. I played a witch in Arthur the Early Years. That was my whole acting career before I got the role as Hermione in Harry Potter. So I was 9. I loved learning my lines. I was completely obsessive and I would do it over and over and over again. Funnily enough, in the first Harry Potter film, if you watch carefully in some scenes, you can see me mouthing Harry and Ron's lines as well as my own, because that's just what I was like. I was crazy. I ended up doing 8 auditions to get my role. I auditioned with maybe 3 or 4 different sets of Harrys. I would just literally sit by the telephone and wait to get a phone call, and sometimes it would be weeks. I learned my lesson then that if you're waiting for something to come, it never comes. The phone call always came when I was out of the house, always. And they called me into the producer David Heyman's very pristine white office. He said, we just wanted to tell you that you are the preferred candidate for the role of Hermione. And I remember thinking, what does preferred candidate mean? Within about half an hour, they'd taken a photograph of Dan, Rupert and I, which was then broadcast on the internet of the 3 of us had been cast. We moved straight into a hotel. They were pressed outside a house. It was this crazy whirlwind, something from a movie. Whether I'd been cast as Hermione or not, I was always a very serious child. I remember being 13 and girls being Felicity is gonna kiss Ben on the school fields. It's amazing I had any friends, because I just remember saying, well, that's stupid. It's too young to mean anything. He doesn't love her, and that's just a waste of time. Drinking or being sexy or smoking never really held any allure or excitement for me. I wanted to wear a sports bra up until I was 22. I couldn't care less. So I guess I've just never been in a terrible rush to grow up or be seen as a woman all of a sudden. Bling Ring is the first role when, gosh, Nikki is so different to me. How do I try and understand a young woman who loves these things so much that she's prepared to commit crimes in order to have them? Trying to make sure that Nikki wasn't a parody was my biggest challenge. The costumes were amazing. The low-cut, juicy couture, and the skin-tight dresses, I would say, is the costume. I'm oh, we can see a bra strap here. We need to do something about this. She's no, sweetie. Nikki's all about the bra strap showing. I'm right, okay, different mindset. Okay, what did I keep? I don't know. Things that I feel will be the most iconic of Nikki will be her tramp stamp. And I can't really keep the tramp stamp. It was a lotus flower, kind of like a Buddhist symbol just above her butt crack. It was great, really classy. I think when it finally started to hit home that I was really famous, I sort of lived in denial for as long as I possibly could, telling myself, oh, I'm famous for 2 weeks of the year when the Harry Potter movie comes out, and then everyone forgets about who I am. Up until the age of 18, I would take the Oxford Tube, which is a public bus up and down from London. I got to the point where the fact that I was on the bus would spread from one end to the other, and it would just start to get totally crazy, and I'd be why am I doing this to myself? It probably wasn't advisable to go to college and room with a complete stranger who I had no idea who they were, or and to share a bathroom with 8 other people. That was my rebellion in a funny way, was my insistence to be normal and do normal things. Every day was a new day, and I just had to see how it went.